Hey, I'm out walking the dogs, so when I get jerked around, all of a sudden it's gonna be because I got the dogs. So this afternoon, I was at the first gym I go to, and I was getting a little bit annoyed. I've been in a really bad mood the past like 5 days. It's partially hormonal, but it's also partially that I'm just like mentally in a not great place at the moment. But part of that is like being aware of it, and then the next step is doing something about it. If you're just aware of it, you're just aware of the fact that you're an asshole, but you're not actually doing anything about it. And it's really awful. Doggies. But so I'm at the gym, and at this gym there aren't really fighters, right? So it's like, it's mostly like middle-aged to older men, and then recently there's this like 5-year-old that comes with his mom and just runs around, like hits everybody. I don't like kids, and I don't particularly like talking to people who are basically at a gym to socialize. If you come train with me and like know me from online and want to talk to me, don't be shy to do that. That's not what I'm talking about. You can talk to me. But I don't like, it's like when I worked at the bar and you have a regular and you just kind of have to like chat with this dude forever. I'm not way into it. Anyway, so I was in this real shit mood about like not wanting to talk to these guys at the gym who, you know, don't know who I am and want to give me like advice on sparring when they don't fucking know what they're talking about. And then this 5-year-old running around like trying to look at my phone while I'm trying to look at my phone and all this stuff, whatever. And then I realized like there are different ways of looking at everything. And I'm like, what kind of Grinch looks at things the way I just described, right? Like, fuck these guys and this little baby, like all of this stuff. Like, how awful do you have to be for that to be the way that you're seeing things? And it's not quite as hippy-dippy as, like, you know, some people look at the rain and they're getting wet, and some people look at the rain and they're like, oh, it's gonna grow flowers. But like, these dudes are just like older men who are coming to the gym to feel good, you know? Like, they're trying to like invigorate their lives. And then this baby, it's like 5 years old. He's spastic. 5-year-olds are rude because they don't know any better. He's running around hitting people because his mom doesn't control him, and that's what babies do. So instead of being the Grinch who's like all pissed off about this, I should maybe be like, hey, these people are doing something that makes them happy, which is why I'm here too. So that's actually really cool. And I realized that it's a little bit like, there are these guys, it's like bros, who complain about overweight women doing Muay Thai in their gyms. And I find those guys to be super shitty. And I think that that's kind of what my mindset was going into this gym. So I took note of that and made an effort to not concentrate on those things and to reverse that. And I think it made me feel better. But when I got to Petrarung for the second part of my afternoon training, I was a little bit frustrated because my training partner, like my normal clinching partner, is actually fighting tomorrow, but I didn't know this. So I asked Pinu, like, who am I going to clinch with? And there's nobody appropriate for me to clinch with, which I'm so VIP and so special. I'm like the only person in the gym who doesn't have lots of options to clinch with. So if my clinching partner's not there, I kind of don't have any options. But Pinu gave me extra pad work, which was really nice. He never does that. And while he was holding pads for me, I had a lot of power, which is good. I've been working on this kick that both Samart, well, mostly Sagat and Karahat showed me within a week, which was really weird. It's amazing. I'll talk about it on my Patreon thing, but basically this kick comes up rather than out. It's very hard to see, and it's very powerful. And Sagat and Karahat are such different fighters that for both of them to kick this way seems like it's kind of a golden age thing. Sorry, I have to let my dog off the leash for a second. Jetty, come here. Hey, come here. And there he goes. Yeah. Snowflake has to stay with me though. He's bad. Bad boy. Okay, so as I'm like kicking pads, Pinu's talking to Chicken Man, right? Chicken Man is actually named Guy, which means chicken, but he owns a chicken farm out back, and he lays in the ring after he's been holding pads for people the way that, like, a stoner lays on the couch. It's like this incredible energy from him. This, like, the way he lounges in the ring is incredible. And so I'm smashing pads with Pinu, and he's watching, and he's asking when my next fight is and all of this stuff. And Pinot was like, oh, well, Sylvie's weighing in for the fight. It's 45 kilos, so this girl she's fighting just can't even handle her power, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, come on now. Like, I know Thais love to talk like this. Like, they love this Sumai Dai thing. Just, like, cannot even fight and, like, oh, the power and all of this stuff. But that's not how fights actually work. Like, techniques and, like, what people's styles are and all of these things play a really, really big role in how these fights go. So I was like, I'm glad that he has so much confidence in me, but I'm not buying into it because I fought this girl, like, 7 times before. And I've won most of those fights, but it has gone back and forth. And, like, when I lose to her, there's, like, 2 points scored in the whole fight because she's got this brat Muay Thai, and it's, like, so annoying to lose to her. So the last time we fought was, like, a year ago. So I'm sure that both of us have changed a lot, but, like, I don't train for certain opponents because I just fight so much. And there's also, like, you don't look people up and, like, watch their tape and stuff in Thailand. That's not how it works. But I have lots of video of our fights together because we fought so many times. So I am, like, paying attention to what our last fight looked like what was working for her, what was working for me, that kind of stuff. But I don't study and try to, like, adjust my shit. But I've been working on so many things in the past year. There are a lot of things that I'm eager to bring into this fight with me. So that's what I'm excited about. Pinu can be excited about my power or whatever it is that he's excited about. But so after this, I asked him, because I saw this kid kicking the bag, who I've asked if I could clinch with numerous times, and he always says no because he's too big and he's not super experienced, so Pinu thinks he doesn't have control. He's usually put against people bigger than himself because of that. But so I'm like, can I clinch with this kid? And Pinu's like, yeah, sure. So that was a surprise. So he comes in, and he's actually pretty good. Like, for his experience level, he's surprisingly good. He just doesn't have, like, super lot of skills, but what's really great about that is it allows me to try things that I can't try with Team, my regular training partner, because he's bigger, stronger, and better than me. So I don't get to try stuff. And Karahat is always, like, ragging on me. He's like, you need to train with people either smaller or not as good as you so that you can try things. Like, that's how you get experience in believing in things through experience. Like, you did it kind of thing. And you just can't do that with people who are bigger. Like, my Muay Thai is very much molded by the fact that my opponents are almost always bigger. My training partners are always bigger. This kind of thing. So these guys, both bigger than me. Oh, sorry, I didn't introduce that yet. This kid bigger than me. But I was able to try these things that I don't usually get to try as diligently or consistently because I have to adjust for, you know, strength or size or any of these things. And it made me really happy because, like, the first thing that Karahat told me was to switch how I grab in the clinch. And from that, he extrapolated to just changing my guard altogether to make me southpaw. So I've actually done a lot of southpaw work, but never got to that first thing he wanted me to do, which was to change how I grab in the clinch. So that's what I got to work on a lot with this kid. And then I was doing so well throwing him on the floor that Pinu grabbed another kid, also really big, to make it man in the middle for me. So I'm getting cold. Towel, where are you going? Huh? Smell good? Smell good? Home. Chinese. Where are you going? I like his flashlight tail. But so then I was man in the middle, right, with these two enormous boys. And what was great about that is I have not been man in the middle in a really, really, really long time because I have one training partner. It is so exhausting. I used to do it all the time back when I first started clinching and when I was going to Omikun, Pechicha's gym and stuff like that, which is just a different situation. But man, we went for like 30 minutes, and like when you're like dancing in the club and you're like, you know, all just riding out on the adrenaline, or you're in a fight or something, like you never feel what's going on while you're in the fight. But then when you stop, guys, that's when it hits you. That's when like the hangover or how drunk you are or whatever just slams into you. And so when I stopped clinching with these guys, I was like, oh my God, I am so tired. I am so tired. So that was my experience coming out of that. But it was really, really good work, and I'm very proud of it. And I'm actually